Brightburn is a 2019 horror film directed by David Yarovosky, who also directed the horror film The Hive from 2015, and was produced by James Gunn, most notably known for Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy and its sequel. Brightburn tells the story of a young boy who, after realizing he has certain supernatural abilities, begins to take bloodshed into his own hands. You may have heard about this film from teasers saying that it's the evil Superman movie, that it's very much reminiscent of a lot of superhero films we've seen before, and in the sense, yes, this is a superhero movie, but it's also very much so a horror film. It is rated R. It does have some intense, gory scenes in it, and it, in my opinion, was pretty good. I do have to say, this was a pretty good movie. It's not great, but it is pretty good, and if you're looking for an entertaining horror film with a little bit of interesting plot maneuvering throughout it, you will definitely enjoy Brightburn. So like I said, it's about this kid who has supernatural abilities. I feel like this may be a spoiler, but it's not really, because I feel like the trailers implied this pretty well. But the little boy is actually from outer space. He comes crash landing in a ship, and his parents kind of adopt him into their family. It's just the parents and the little boy. He grows up in Brightburn County, and throughout the movie, he begins to change in personality from this nice, lovable boy to this monster of a child, as you will see at the end of the film. So what I liked about this movie are all the parallels to a lot of superhero movies, kind of flipping things on their head, which I really enjoyed. I also liked how he sort of, breaks down and becomes something that at the beginning you never could have thought this little boy would have done. And it does it in a good way. Some of the gory scenes are a little over the top, and I feel like they banked very heavily on those. But I feel like some of the more moderate scenes were even better. There's a scene where he's like chewing on a fork and then it's all bent. I feel like scenes like those showed his powers more so than the gory scenes, but I do understand they wanted to throw in that stuff for the real die-hard gore fans, which I'm not really, but I do think they did a good job of handling those as well. It was, directed pretty well. Some of the shots were really, really cool. The acting was really good. The little boy is actually a very good actor, and he was very creepy in a lot of the scenes. My main issue comes down to the lack of story and character motivation towards the middle part of the film. I feel like this is a pitch movie, kind of a story that's just the first sentence of the plot, like just describing the plot. It's very basic level, and you can follow it pretty easily, and I wish there would be a little more depth to the story. One thing in particular is I felt a lack of motivation from the main little boy. He goes from nice, cute, young little boy to I want to murder everyone on the planet really, really quickly. There are some visions in his head about his real, true alien parents and their plans to, quote, take the world. I feel like that was a little bit vague, especially for this young boy having just figured out that he's actually an alien and has all these supernatural gifts. I feel like they should have taken more time with his character and really stretched that out more so you understood his motivations and what's going on in here. So when his inevitable killing and murder does happen, you go, oh, okay, I get that. But in this movie, I'm like, what's happening and why?
Did he find it?
No. It was like he was drawn to it.
He may look like us. He's not like us.
But With all that said, I gotta say, this was a pretty entertaining movie. The only other big thing that I can take off for is at the very end, when the credits start rolling, they play this annoying, obnoxious pop song when they have these really interesting clips of news footage of the little boy. It could have actually been creepy, but with this pop song, it really contrasts and counteracts the creepy moments and makes it laughable. I was actually laughing, and I wish I wouldn't have, because those were actually pretty neat.
I'm the bad guy. Duh.
No!
I think the young boy actually should have grown throughout the movie, and by the end, maybe we see him as an adult or something, but perhaps, and likely so, they're already planning a sequel or some sort of spin-off of this movie, so we'll have to see where the Brightburn legacy goes. But in terms of this starter movie, it's not great horror material, it's not bad by any means. It's definitely a good movie, and overall, I would recommend it if you are a fan of horror, and if you like a little gore, that will probably help too. Overall, I'm going to give Brightburn a 3 out of 5 skulls on the R.I.P. Reviews rating scale, and thank you for watching this movie review. If you love Halloween and horror, make sure to click down there the subscribe button so you don't miss any more fiendish goodies. Remember, as always, for all things Halloween, this is Hauntformer.